Hey guys, welcome to the class today that we're going to be doing. That's about fixing technique. And I don't really like to say that because it's not always true, especially when not all of us are involved in tech, but a lot of us play instruments. We sit at a computer, we drive a lot. What that manifests in is if you have what we call forward head posture, which looks like this. So if your head juts forward, you can see what happens to your core, right? Your core follows suit. And if you bring your ears back over your shoulders, your core follows suit. But so many times we sit and we spend so much time with our arms in the front of our bodies and our head can go this way, which can cause what we call upper crossed syndrome. What upper crossed syndrome means is if you see where my head goes forward, forward head posture and upper cross syndrome do not always go hand in hand, but a lot of times they do. So upper crossed is where if your head is coming forward, it creates an X. This is tight. This is tight. This is tight. This is weak. This is weak. So you see it makes an X. We get that, right? So I'm exaggerating here, but I know a lot of us have dealt with it. And if this is what you have, this is something that you can do, a quick corrective exercise workout that you can do to get rid of it. All you're going to need is a foam roller. And if you don't have a foam roller, you can skip this part, but I highly recommend it because we want to increase the thoracic spine's mobility. And a lot of times it gets stuck. When we go forward this way, this follows suit, and that gets stuck going this way. So we want to increase the mobility of your thoracic spine. That's your thoracic spine. So what I've got is my foam roller here. You can use a small one if you want. It's totally up to you. A couple things to remember: you never roll over a joint, and you never roll over a bone, and you never roll your low back. Ever, period, end of story. Do not roll your low back. So you're going to put this right at the base of your shoulder blades. Okay, so we're going to roll just your upper back. Go right at the base of your shoulder blades. For ladies, that's right about your bra line. You're going to let your head rest in your hands, put your elbows in front of your face and lift up. And then we're going to roll back and forth a couple of times. You'll notice I'm going to right at the base of my shoulder blades to just at the top. I get this question a lot: how far up do I go? Well, guys, if you go much farther than this, you're going to come off and get on your neck. So it should be pretty self-explanatory. So you're going to lift up, keep your elbows in front of your face. You're not pulling, you're just letting your head rest like it's in a hammock. Make sure you keep breathing. You're going to roll back and forth about 5 times. Now plant your butt on the ground. When you find a good spot, you can adjust, right? Plant your butt on the ground. Oh, that should feel amazing. Lean backwards over the roller. Actually, your head should touch the floor when you're doing this, okay? You lean back, relax into it. You can hang out here as long as you want, okay? Also, if it doesn't feel right, feel free to adjust higher or lower. Like I said, never roll your low back. It's got a curve here, and your lumbar spine is not meant for that. So that is not what we're looking to do, okay? So that's all we're going to do with the foam roller. Like I said, if you don't have it, that's fine. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to do a chest stretch and a bicep stretch. So we're going to stretch here. We're also going to stretch here. What you're going to need is a doorway. And if you don't have a doorway, just a little lip of something. If you don't have anything, you can use a wall. It's fine. But I just like having something that my arm can be supported with. You're going to put your arm at 90 degrees in the wall. I want you to find your shoulder blade. Here's the space in between your shoulder blade and your spine. You're going to pull your shoulder blade in. So like this, okay? You're going to squeeze your shoulder blade. So arm is at 90 degrees. Squeeze your shoulder. Twist out. We're going to hold for 30 seconds. If you don't feel a big stretch, you should. You're still squeezing and you're twisting out. Notice we're not leaning forward. If you don't feel a big stretch, you can come up a little higher, and that will hit pec minor. Pec major is what we're hitting here, okay? 30 seconds, and then we're going to switch sides, okay? Squeeze your shoulder blade, twist away. And when I say twist away, make sure you are twisting your upper body, not just looking to the right. So many times when I say twist, we just look, right? So we're squeezing, twisting, holding. Oh, you feel, it should feel wonderful. I feel a little bit of warmth, a little bit of, quote, blood flow in my fingers. It feels really nice. So after that, what we're going to do is we're going to stretch out our biceps and the front of our shoulders, because these also, when you are playing your instrument, for me, I'm a flute player. A lot of people, most of us, in fact, I can't think of a single instrument that doesn't have their arms bent in front of them. And if we're at a computer all day, our biceps get tight because we drive, we eat, we do everything with our biceps flexed, right? So how we stretch it, you're going to find some space along the wall. Ideally, it's going to be in a doorway. But if you don't have that, you're just going to use a wall, okay? So you can see on the back wall here what I'm going to do. Put my arm out behind me, palm facing down. So if you go palm against the wall, you're not going to feel much. But play around with it, see what it feels like for you. You're going to put your palm facing down. Again, twist away, 30 seconds each side. And this is not a stretch as hard as you can do it, okay? You're just going to gently twist away and feel really nice, okay? And you might only feel it in your bicep, maybe not even the front of your shoulder. That's totally fine. And come out of that slowly. We're going to switch sides. If it's not tight, don't stretch it, okay? So twist away. If I usually do this in the doorway, but I find that a lot of people are hypermobile and their elbows, they actually invert. So if that's you, this is going to be better for you. If you find that this is too much tension on the shoulder, you can come down a little bit. Just remember you're twisting your body away, okay? So the only other thing we're going to add to that are some neck stretches. And when I say neck, I mean that kind of loosely. So we're going to start with the upper traps. You're going to take one hand, put it in the small of your back and pull that shoulder down. Look straight ahead. Take your opposite hand and put it right above your temple. This is my temple, right above your temple. Remember, you're pulling down. You're going to pull your head to the side. We're going to hold for 20, 30 seconds. If it feels tight. If it doesn't feel tight, don't do it. You don't need it. You're going to pull and hold. And if any of this doesn't feel good, don't do it. Okay? I'm going to switch sides. Pull and hold, pull that shoulder down, pull straight over to the side. And if it feels really tight and you want a little bit extra, what I want you to do is you're going to press your head this way into your hand. Press, 3, 2, 1, relax. Should go farther every time. One more that we're going to do for a stretch is here. These are your SCMs. You see how it sticks out here? It goes from the base of your sternum clavicle to this spot right behind your ear on your skull. Turns your head, it flexes you forward, they can get really tight. So what you're going to do, put your hand in the small of your back again, pull that shoulder down. You're going to reach, so this is my left side, my right arm is going to come up and go right above the arch of my left eyebrow. You're going to, instead of going over, you're going to pull diagonally, slightly back. You should feel a stretch right here. We're going to go 30 seconds each side, right? That's it. And if it's not tight, again, don't stretch it. We're just going to move on for sake of time. Oh, it should feel nice. And now we have 3 strengthening exercises. 1 is for the neck, 2 are for the back. If you find that you are not able to, if you put your hands up against the wall and you rotate and you're not able for your hands to touch the wall, then no worries, that's totally fine. Just know that this one might not be the one that you want to do. We call this, well, I call them wall slides, but they have a lot of different things, right? So you're going to put your arms up against the wall like this. You're going to press your elbows into the wall and press up. Reset. You're not pressing down. We're pressing back and up. So lean back against the wall, press up. There we go. Press up. And you're going to do this 5 or 10 times, whatever feels good, right? Press up. You should feel this right in between your shoulder blades. It should feel nice. If you get any kind of tension or whatever in your shoulders, it doesn't feel good, you can stop. You should feel that right here. Now, that one doesn't feel good. You're going to go this way. These are prone tees, and I find that these work really well. Pardon me. I find that these work really well if you don't have a whole lot of equipment. Your arms are heavy enough. So what you're going to do is you're going to pull in your belly button. I want you to put your hips or your feet about hip width apart. You're going to press your hips back. So find your hip joint right here. Press your hips back. So you'll see that my knees don't move and also my spine doesn't flex. I'm not doing any of that, right? I'm just pushing my hips back, pulling in my belly button. And now what I'm going to have you do is your hands are going to rotate out. So think we do everything this way. You're going to go the opposite. So we're going to go up and out. You're going to squeeze your shoulder blades, keep them squeezed. We're gonna come back down. We're gonna come up, hold, and come back down. You're gonna squeeze your shoulder blades the whole time. You should make a T, not a V. Make sure you are, if you stood up, you look like a T, right? Okay, so I'm gonna do this 10 to 15 times and keep squeezing as you come down. Think like you're trying to squeeze the bottom of your shoulder blades together. And down we go. Should feel good. If this starts to feel a little taxing on your low back or your hamstrings, go ahead and come up, reset, pull in your belly button, roll your shoulders back, stick your booty out, pull it back, and we're gonna go 5 more. Keep holding. We're gonna come up, hold, down slow. 3 more, come up, hold. You should start feeling this in between your shoulder blades. Should feel amazing. And 1 more, up and hold, and down slow. And if that feels good, what you can also do is you can do an exercise called a scarecrow. So a scarecrow is an exercise that, well, it looks a little weird, but I'll show you. Here we go. Looks just like this. So if we're here and we were doing this, instead, you're going to bring your elbows up and out. So if I stood up, I'd look like a scarecrow, right? So you're going to come up and out and squeeze. And you'll feel that right here. So essentially you're doing this, right? So it just gives you another option. But we're going to go ahead and move on, and I'm going to show you one for the neck. And I'm going to show you up here, and then I'll bring it down with me so you can see it a little better. This is one that you're going to do on the floor. So before I get into that, you have a muscle called your longus colli. So if we're talking about the neck, you have in the front here, you've got your esophagus and your windpipe, and then we have the spine back here. You've got some other things, of course. This is simplistically speaking. So on the front of here's your spine. On the front of your spine, on the inside, so not back here, but on the inside, you have a muscle called the longus colli. And we're going to be strengthening that. A lot of times when we get this forward head posture, so your neck usually curves this way, and it's on the front, right? And so it stays in that position. Now, if you are this way, it gets stretched out. So when you do a chin tuck, it pulls it back, right? So if it's like this, we're contracting it when we pull back. So that's what we're doing. So we're going to do a chin tuck and lift. Let me show you what a chin tuck looks like first. This is not a chin tuck. If you look attractive while you're doing this, you're doing it wrong. This is not a pretty face. So you're going to pull down slightly, pretend like your jawline here is on rails, like a train. You're going to pull down, push back. It might help to think like the back of your head is pushing straight back. So you have your ears are being pulled over your shoulders. What we're going to do is we're going to do a chin tuck on the floor, and then we're going to lift. So we're going to go against gravity, and that's going to make the longus colli stronger. You'll see how I'm not going to go very far. So you'll see, and I'll bring it down on the floor so you can see a little bit better. Okay. This should give you a vague sense of fatigue somewhere in your neck. Okay. We're not going to go far again, right? So we're going to tuck down. So I'm going to look down and push back slightly. Now I want you to think of here to here as one unit. We know it's not, but I want you to think of it as now that you're tucked, it's like locked like a board, and you're going to lift up. See how little I lifted? And back down. So we're not doing this. We're not doing crunches for the neck. You don't want that. And we're not doing this. That would be losing it. So we're going to tuck the chin and press back slightly, just slightly. We're not going crazy, right? So tuck down, press back slightly, lift. 3, 2, 1, relax. Notice if you can keep your upper body relaxed or not. Down, up, 2, 1. And I want you to do this as many times as you can, but you're going to hold 3 to 5 seconds. So tuck down, press. You might find, like, if you think that you are lifting up with your forehead, that might be helpful. But what I think most of is my head is one unit, and I'm lifting up in one unit, and that unit includes my neck. So it's one piece. So you're lifting up that chin tuck. You might take a couple of times to get this right because it feels very weird, very awkward, and I know that. So don't be too frustrated with yourself. It's a weird muscle. You've never touched it. You haven't held it. It's bizarre. So give yourself some grace. It's going to be weird, but here we go. So you can see from the side, right? So we're going to tuck down and back and lift up. 3, 2, 1. Relax. And I'm breathing the whole time, right? If you really want to pull in here, you can do that as well, but that's not what we're focused on. I want you to focus on this. Tuck down and back, lift, Oh, this is a good one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ah, that's good. Okay, we're gonna do one more. And I want you to do as many as you can. So start with 5 to 10 and see where we get, okay? Down and back, press back, lift up. Oh, that wasn't good. 3, 2, 1, relax. There it is. Oh, I found it. So you should feel a vague sense of fatigue somewhere in here. Yes, your SCMs are going to kick on and they're going to be part of that. Don't be frustrated if you're like, well, why do I feel all these things? I'm just working on this one muscle. Well, that muscle is weak and also it's really difficult to isolate. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to do one round of everything. So we're going to start with foam rolling if you can do it, right? And then we're going to follow with the stretches because what we're going to do is mobilize. We're going to calm down the overactive stuff. So we're calming down the chest, the shoulders, and the biceps in the front, right? Hold for 30 seconds. Recap. We're going to do the follow up with the prone tees and or scarecrows or the wall slides. You can do both or you can do one. You're going to do a set of 10 to 15 at a 2-2-4 tempo. 2 up, hold 2, 4 down, going against gravity, okay? We're going to follow that up with shin tucks. As many as you can do. Repeat every day or every other day or just do parts of it. But do this workout and let me know how it goes. Thanks for joining me today.